What is up, my fellow Introvians? I am Logan, the Totally Epic Gamer, and today I have a fun little video for you. I'm going to be doing tier 15 on the Scorched Lands. Now, the reason for this video is actually, I haven't heard anybody talk about this. Everybody's talking about endgame content, doing this and that, and how to farm legendaries, and nobody's talked about how to get some good golds that are easy, right? Boomtown is very hard to get gold on, although it's the best legendary farm. You know, Chemplant can be a real tight race, especially if you're not using the skip, and there's a lot of things about the other ones, especially Stargraze, where it can be difficult to seal down a gold if you're kind of a new CT15 build, especially if you're not an easy build to scale up, like an anomaly build. And so I wanted to go through Scorched Lands. You know, I was kind of going through every single expedition map, and I was like, okay, this one's easy, this one's hard, this is the one that's, you know, most likely to get a gold. These ones are really good golds, but you know, they have a little chance of death, you know, if you misplay a little bit. But as you can see here, I'm about to speed the video up as you've seen how open this landscape is. Scorched Lands is super easy in terms of just the game expedition as itself. Like, look at this. I, as a Technomancer, have a huge long range. These monsters walk right into me. I have a huge time to set up. They're split up, and it's like not very long. The best part, gold on Scorched Lands is 23 minutes and 35 seconds. A 24-minute gold? Man, I could be, you know, a quarter of this damage and still get gold. That's why this is such an easy expedition. I have so much time to react, the monsters do not swarm quickly, and the boss on this level is maybe the easiest boss of any single expedition, right? And so we're just going to get into it here. You're going to see a Broodmother come up, and right now we're looking at about 2 minutes, 2:30, and you'd think with a 24-minute timer, I'm going to finish this in probably 15, 16 minutes if I'm saying it's fast, right? Which is still a long time. That's not the case. I've cleared this in 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes. I've got 13 minutes of leeway. So even if you think, oh, you know, this build, my build's not as good, I'm going to be much slower, it doesn't matter. You're going to get gold here. And getting gold is super important because you're going to get double the amount of legendaries that you would have got for getting silver. Now, there are definitely better spots where you can be faster, but this is the easiest way to get gold for when you're just starting out on CT15, trying to get those easy golds, trying to get those easy legendaries. And here you're going to see this is the next zone, and this is a 3-zone map. Same thing. Monsters come in very slow, very controlled, not getting swarmed too badly. I actually don't even take damage on that swarm, and it's very easy. You know, there's a crawler that comes up and another Broodmother, and later on you're going to see some the big hulking beasts, but it's still a very, very easy expedition, and that's why I'm recommending it today. It's just, it's not something that I've seen anybody talk about, and I think it's important. Now, moving on from there, kind of what your next step is here for people who might also say like, oh, you know, but this is PC, I think I'd have a harder time, maybe it's, you know, more difficult. I don't think that's the case. It's pretty omnidirectional, or non-omnidirectional, in the sense that, as you can see, I'm looking straight for pretty much this whole section. Not very common in a map. Normally you have to spin around a lot. Normally you have to see new mobs coming in. They come from behind you. No, just coming straight head on. So I think this is open to every class. I think it's console, PC. I think it's, you know, deep end game, early end game. It's an easy expedition. Now let's get into why people haven't been doing it and why it's really only CT15 that you want to be doing this. There is a 3200, as you can see, that hulking beast. That's probably the, you know, the hardest boss right there, because if you don't kill him right away, he's kind of got a short range on you, but overall still very easy. But to start this expedition takes 3200 drop pod, and you might think that's huge, that's a lot of drop pod. You know, I'm not getting a lot of drop pod resources normally. 3200 seems like kind of a push, but it's really not. When you gold this, you get 75k drop pod, all right, compared to the 56k you get for silver, right? So already you're netting out and getting more than you would have got getting silver somewhere else, right? So overall, not too much, but 3200 is a lot when you're on CT12, CT13. So really, you should only be doing this at CT15 if you're having trouble getting gold on anything else. And as you see here, I'm moving on to the final section where we're going to be just clearing out this last little bit right before the, you know, the big cutscene they always love to do. And this part, the reason this part's so easy, despite it looking like it might be a little difficult with all the mobs, is you start off with high ground. I don't think they really thought this one through when they made the level, especially because of the time frame, right? Like, if you needed to, you could just kite this out. You have a huge open circle on that final part where this is supposed to be the difficult part, and you could just kite them around. You have tons of time and tons of space. But they give you high ground, and the monsters come from below you. So they have to come up that very predictable pathway. They group up for you, and it's very easy to just kind of like control the narrative here. And you can see Broodmother's coming in, and I just didn't even care. I just kind of kept backing away. Now I'm just kiting around. You know, the double boss part, it gets a little dicey there, but you know, one dicey part, you're gonna get way more in any other expedition. And when the final boss spawns, as you're about to see in a second here, I've slowed it down as it's about to happen. When the final boss spawns, he spawns in a spot where he actually can't hit you easily, but for some reason you are allowed to free fire on him. It's quite absurd, and this is kind of what feeds into the ease of this. First off, the gold, you got a 14-minute leeway based on my timer, and on top of that, the boss sections are easy. You are not looking to get flanked over and over and over again. And the final boss, it's, you know, this isn't Paxian Homestead, you know, where I think that's the hardest boss, you know, going after the Blood Merchant. This is easy. As you can see, I'm taking on the mobs before I take on the boss because they're coming at me from an angle that I actually can't defend, whereas the boss, what is it doing? Nothing. It just has to sit there and take it. It's not even casting Surge at me. I'm not worried about getting impaled or spiked from below, so I just like free farm on these mobs and take it second by second here. So that was pretty much it. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like. If you think there's an easier expedition than this, I'd love to hear your comments, but I think that a lot of the people who think there's something easier are going to see something like, oh, Boomtown's so easy, it's 5 minutes, blah, blah, blah. And of course, that's only 5 minutes for you, and some other people are going to have more tough time. But yeah, there you go. Expedition successful, 10 minutes 45. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a great day.
Excellent. That water's going to be a lifesaver, Outrider. I'll be sure to bring people the good news.
Outrider detected. Access granted.